This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Good news with it. The voice of F1, David Crofty, coming back to Perth, which is great. We caught up with him early this morning.
Hello.
Hello,
How
Crofty.
you
We're doing well. We can see you on Zoom. You can't see us because we're undergoing renovations and...
I can see the back of your head.
Oh, you can... Hey!
How does it look from this angle, Crofty?
Honestly, it's your best side.
Yeah.
Stick with it. It's magnificent.
Yeah, I live alone, so not many people see the back of my head. So thanks for the check.
Hey, David, we're very excited about you coming back to Perth. You were over here last year doing the Crofty Tour. It's back again for a second season. This time you're going to Bull Creek. More stories to tell, which is great news.
Absolutely. Martin Brundle said to me when he was a lot younger, with a lot less grey hair, and in my first season in Formula One, when I asked him, do you ever get stuck for things to say on the telly? You know, because if the race is dull, what do you talk about? He said, Crofty, there's always something to talk about. So we're kind of putting that into motion for this one. It is the always something to talk about tour. And let's face it, in Formula One at the moment, there is plenty to talk about, even if Max Verstappen might have won the first race of the season. We'll answer some questions. We'll have some polls. We'll find out what the fans think as well as me. We'll do some commentary competition. We'll have a bit of fun and we'll celebrate the sport we all love. How's that sound for a night out?
Oh,
I think you've ticked every box there.
Yeah, the thing about Formula One at the moment is it's like a soap opera. There's so many things happening. I was reading that article because you do not speak ill of Daniel Ricciardo in this area. And who was the former F1 world champion that came out and said the other day that he is a pure product of image and modern social media?
Jacques Villeneuve, and if I've got that wrong, I apologise to Jacques Villeneuve.
Well, I wasn't going to
Can
try
I just jump in there, Nathan? I think Jacques Villeneuve went out with Kylie Minogue there for a while. Is that right, Crofty?
Wrong Minogue.
Oh, Danny.
Oh, God, the lesser Minogue. Okay, that's okay. That's still a Minogue.
Lesser Minogue.
So, yeah, when he said that the other day, I was reading it, and he's basically saying he's not that good a driver. It's just that he's got a lot of charisma, and that takes you a long way. What do you think about that?
We know he's got a lot of charisma. We know that he's a pretty cool guy. We know that Daniel Ricciardo is great from a marketing perspective. And let's face it, that's what got him back in the Red Bull fold after his time at Alpine, or Renault as it was then, and McLaren didn't go quite so well. But you don't get back into the car just because your face looks good on social media. You get back into the car because you're a fine driver and you're a winner. And Daniel Ricciardo has been a winner in his career before. And if he was in the right car again, I dare say he'd be a winner too. But, he's in an RB and he's having a battle with his teammate Yuki Tsunoda and a battle with a pit wall at the moment rather than trying to get to the checkered flag first. That can be covered off as well. But, Daniel Ricciardo, 8 wins in his career. That's not just because you're a product of social media. I think Jacques is wrong in that one, but there is a grain of truth as to why he got back into the Red Bull team in the first place. What do you think about the Daniel Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda? Should he swap? Didn't he swap? Did he swap too late? Tsunoda's not very happy about it scenario from Sunday.
I actually didn't see that at all. I read about it, but I actually didn't see what happened in that incident at all. Crofty.
Well, what happened? Well, they told Yuki Tsunoda to let Daniel pass.
Go through. Yeah,
he's going faster, but Yuki's like, "Hey, come on! I'm only 4/10 off Kevin Magnussen. I can overtake him myself." And it swapped around, and Yuki wasn't happy. And after the race, he put the heat on Daniel. He overtook him after the checkered flag and got a little bit close, a bit like Tom Cruise buzzing the tower. It was that scenario. So I think they need to sit both drivers down and remind them of their responsibilities a bit. But you know what? We love a bit of needle from time to time. Nothing wrong with that.
Look, I don't know F1 too well, but maybe when that guy let Ricciardo go before him, when you do the courtesy wave, maybe he didn't get the courtesy wave, because I know when I don't get the courtesy wave after letting someone in, I am so pissed off.
But the other thing...
Tell me in Australia, hang on, because there's cultural boundaries here. That courtesy wave, how many fingers?
Exactly.
So there's 2 ones, right? There's the oncoming courtesy wave, and that's when, say, there might be a couple of cars double parked on the street, and then you're slowing down to let someone through, then they should raise their finger, right? And then, so it's just a finger off the steering wheel like that, and then you go, thank you so much. And then, that works both ways, and that's also how you say hello on a country road. But then the other courtesy wave is when someone's the lanes are merging, and then you've like pulled back to let somebody else through, or you've let them overtake you, and they don't wave. That fills me with such rage.
I think Crofty was thinking about the middle finger there, giving the salute at some stage, weren't you, Crofty?
The international sign language of disapproval. Absolutely.
I see. That's the way I say hello to my parents. No lie.
It's not joking.
So it's different things in different cultures.
The other
absolutely.
Crofty, with that incident with Daniel that you were just mentioning as well, that happens season in, season out when the instructions are coming from the team to say, hey, move over because your teammate's going faster. There's always going to be a bit of angst amongst team members in that situation.
Yeah, there is. I think on this occasion, Yuki's angst was, look, I'm in a great position to overtake. I shouldn't do that. Had he have been a second and a half off Kevin Magnussen, I think he'd have done it straight away.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do get it. And there's nothing wrong with it because at the end of the day, team orders are allowed. But I don't know. I don't like team orders. Never have done, to be honest. It's just very difficult to police. I think the word teammate should be banned in Formula One because they shouldn't be mates. They should be competitors at all time. And helping each other out like that, I'm not sure I like it.
God, that's an interesting one because the team, they're supposed to be working together throughout the off season to be able to make sure that the team's at the level that they need to be at to compete.
But at the end of it, at the very core, they all want to win.
Oh, no doubt, mate. Yeah,
that's a weird
and
thing,
they're competing as individuals. I don't know if you can just have them competing as individuals the whole way through. It's they are working together.
Yeah, but you need your team, don't you? That's the trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a team sport, Formula One, but we concentrate on the Drivers' Championship, whilst the teams quite rightly concentrate on the Constructors because that's where the prize money's paid out.
Hey, Crofty.
See, these are the sort of things we can talk about on stage. Yeah, at All Saints College, the Monday and Tuesday after the Grand Prix. Get your tickets on Try Booking right now. Do you see how I'll weave that one in? So I'll give you an exclusive. I was on the golf course yesterday.
Yeah.
And we got held up by a few people towards the second half of the round because there were 4 buggies but 6 people playing the same hole, which, as we know in golf, should illegal, get a courtesy wave middle finger.
Yes.
Two of the people involved, Sergio Perez and Lance Stroll.
Oh, okay. Did you give him? Yeah. Did you have a word to him, mate?
Well, shall we say we had a word as we overtook Sergio Perez on our golf cart because we abandoned the last 2 holes and went off and had a beer instead.
Oh, how good would that be? Wouldn't it be great if they just don't have a caddy with them? They've got a pit crew that runs in and grabs the cue out really quickly and polishes their balls and gets them back to the hole quick as I can.
Slow play, though. Such slow play.
Hey, Crofty, how often do you get... Well, how often do you get to drive around any of the circuits flat to the boards in, any cars just to have a feel of what it's like?
Oh, see, how dangerous would that be? No, there wouldn't be any marshals for me. Could be people on the track. That would be thoroughly irresponsible. I may have done it once in my life. I might have had a go around Spa once upon a time in a car that Mercedes had me for the weekend to drive to Spa. But it's not something we get a chance to do very often, which is a real shame because I would love to go flat out in a racing car on a racetrack. What I need to do, you see, is to buy my own race car and then go and race it on the odd weekend that I'm at home, that I get a chance to do that.
Wow.
Yeah, that'd be
race?
To be right, we've been out to over here is Wanneroo Raceway, so we've been out there and we flogged around an F3, I think it might have been.
Yeah, those miniature versions, and they gave you I think it was 15 minutes of what to do, and then they do put you in the car with an instructor, but then the instructor goes, all right, it's up to you now, and then they tell you things like, when you get to the corner, don't brake, speed up, and it's like, well, none of this is making sense. And then we realised while we were doing it probably 10 metres in, which took a millisecond to get there, we shouldn't be allowed to do that, Shaun. That was scary, wasn't it? I was actually... I don't know whether I was having fun or if I was just shitting myself the entire time.
I think, Nate, one of the things that we don't realise when you're driving is how much you have to actually jump on the anchors on the brakes. You brake as hard as possible, and then you accelerate as hard as possible. It's not normal.
But it's not just jumping on the brakes. You've got to jump with the force, but you've got to have the feel as well, and you've got to feed the brakes in. You've got to bring them in rather than just stamping on them straight away, because everything will lock up and you'll lose all the momentum. So you've got to have a really good feel, as well as having a boot the size of a kangaroo's chest, quite frankly, to actually get that pressure down.
So many things are attached to you and your voice. You're basically a successful company within itself. I remember, was it Elle McPherson? She insured her legs. Do you insure your voice? Because your voice is in so much.
Yeah, I've insured my legs though.
And his boobs, which is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Not as much as Elle McPherson's legs, to be fair. No, I haven't, and I should do.
You should.
But I'm not quite sure. Given how much I talk and how fast I talk and how loudly I talk, I'm not sure anyone would take me on. If there are any insurance groups in the Perth area that are willing to do that, I'm more than happy to have a chat while I'm over.
I'm sorry. How good would that be? If there's insurance places here that think that they can insure your voice, that would be the biggest coup for them, because your voice is everywhere. When you do the computer video game stuff, what do they do? They just hand you just go in there, they hand you a list of like random stuff you're saying. What's that like?
Okay, so I do the voiceover for the Codemasters game, or the EA Sports game as it is now, for F1 2024 and F1 Manager as well. There are two that I do. And I love working with both companies, because they say, right, here's the idea. This is what we want you to say. But if you want to put it into your own words, please do. So I tend to kind of ad-lib a little bit as well. But there are stages, especially for the EA game, the F1 2024 game, where you have to repeat the same line with different names for lots of different people. So, for instance, there's like 6 different lines that will get used at different stages in the game if I was Shaun, say, So I'd go in and I'd say, let's talk about Shaun. Shaun's been having a great battle with his teammates. Shaun's on pole position. And Shaun completes the front row. And bringing up the rear, it's Shaun. Yeah, and you do those sort of lines. And I kid you not, I have spent days doing those lines. In fact, my record, so you try to do like a 4-hour session because your voice just goes after a while. God. My record is 2,500 different inserts of the game within a session.
Oh, my God.
No way.
Crofty.
God, we can't even get through a 30-second live read.
No, I can't.
30 seconds.
Jesus, you would have downed a few pints after that. You'd have been dry.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, boys, why don't I come in and do your job for you, right? And then you could just turn up for the last 10 minutes, because I've got it all covered for the first, it only take me half an hour. It's not a problem.
Well, that is a deal, mate.
Mate, we are locking you in for that.
Well, we know you're coming over. The dates are set. Monday, 25th of March, 2024, Tuesday, the 26th of March. You can catch Crofty at All Saints College, Centre of Performing Arts. It's going to be fantastic, actually. We're looking forward to you coming over again. We're so lucky to have you come over, Crofty.
Mate,
thank you so much.
I love Perth. I love Frio, where I hang out a bit as well. It is a gorgeous part of the world. It's a brilliant stopping off point between Melbourne for the Grand Prix and back home in the UK. And it's a great place to meet some wonderful people who love their F1. We're not sold out yet. We have a few tickets left, but not many. They're going fast. So if people want to come, please come along, talk about Formula One with us, and have a great night, and just prove that Perth is the greatest city in the whole of Western Australia. It's a fantastic place, and we love it.
Brilliant.
Good on you.
Thanks,
David Croft,
Crofty.
thank you, mate.
Thanks, mate.
See you, buddy.
Cheers, boys.
Bye, buddy.
Let's go to the biggest news of today straight away, and that is that Harley Reid is on the back page of the paper.
I saw the televised ad for it last night, and that just gave me the calmness to have a good night's sleep, knowing everything was right in the world.
You just tuck yourself in.
You
the
tuck
blanket's
yourself
on,
in.
mate.
The blanket made out of Harley Reid back pages, which would fit a quadruple times king's bed.
So, of course, the Eagles played Adelaide on the weekend, and then Harley decided to go home and see his parents, which are in Victoria. So that is the gist of the story, Nathan.
With that big picture of him there?
Yeah. He's taking a detour home to see his family, and then he'll be back to WA.
What is happening? And I know, look, are we part of the problem because we're always talking about the fact that the people will not stop
We're
printing
taking the piss,
articles?
leave them alone, we keep saying.
I know, but do we stop talking about... No, nothing we do will stop them from writing about him.
No.
I wonder how he is with this. But how do you reckon? As a player, what would you... Like, put yourself in his scenario, right? And I know they're different times, but
Yep.
As a young recruit and people are pinning all their hopes on you and they will not stop reporting about you. And how old is he?
I think he's 19 now.
So 19. And put that into the mix as well. You're 19.
It's too much. You would think, just go away, please. You need to be out of the spotlight. When you're in when you're in that environment, it's always nice to sign an autograph. Or a kid's got a jumper or a card of yours. That's always a great feeling. But in those environments, you need to be low key because it's all about what you're doing as a job, and you don't want to be distracted. And I know he would be not buying the West Australian. He wouldn't be looking at that, but you can't help but be asked and see it.
Especially now it's become a thing that you're in it so much that it's becoming a running joke.
It's a running joke, exactly.
Because to me, from the outsider's perspective, he is the messiah of AFL, what generations have been waiting for. He is the one. He is Neo from The Matrix.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Anyway.
He's the avatar. You've seen Airbender.
Yes. The Last Airbender. Great show.
Okay. So that's the biggest news of the day, the second biggest news of the day, which is just broke this morning, and that is Sam Kerr's in hot water over in the UK. It seems that she's got in a bit of an argument with over a taxi ride and paying the fare. She was out in Twickenham in the UK, and the police have come over and got involved. Hey, what's going on here? And apparently, as they've said, that there was some abuse handed their way from Sam Kerr.
I don't know.
Now, say racially abused is one of the terms they use.
I don't think Sam would racially abuse
intimidation.
anybody.
There's all these kind of words that come into what the police have alleged against Sam. The problem with this is it doesn't go to court because it's going to court. She's pleaded not guilty. It doesn't go to court until 2025.
Oh, wow. So this is going to be hanging over their head.
Yeah, it's going to be hanging over
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what the altercation was because, I mean, from all my belief, I feel like Sam Kerr's a really fair, level-headed girl. You know?
She is, but
she
I'm
knows
related
she's
to
a
her.
business. So, yeah, there is the wild side. There is the wild blood of fury in there where you're having a go at someone saying things that you don't want to say while saying don't take offence.
Yeah. So take it professionally, not personally.
Yeah. Don't take offence, Governor, but... Beep, 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 beep. Cats. Beep, 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 beep. Kebabs.
We hope that she is okay in this circumstances. No one condones any type of abuse towards police. I think I've seen it over the years just get worse and worse. They need to be respected at all times. That's the job.
Yeah.
Because we're always hoping that they'll be there to save us at the worst
of
of
course.
times.
Don't disrespect the police. But on the other side, it could have been a misunderstanding or...
Hopefully that's the case.
You know, Sam could have done nothing wrong and it could be a blow-up. But usually if you are in the UK and you see a cop, from all I've seen is you just say, hello, Governor, and you keep walking.
You tilt your hat.
Hello, Governor. Tilt your hat and you walk off.
That will be hanging over her head. She's still recovering from a knee injury, Nath, which is going to see her still on the sidelines probably for another 3 or 4 months at least. So hopefully she can come good, get back and playing, put some goals in the back of the net, and this will be worked out in time. Not till the end of January 2025, as I said.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.